What's going on, YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry. I'm the crypto vet. Thank you for tuning back in. I appreciate everybody who gave me the kind words for my knee surgery. Everything went well. I was out yesterday. I actually tweeted out when I guess I was still a little groggy that I would be good to go to stream and do more. I was not. I was not good to go. Still feeling a little out of it today, especially with the pain meds in my leg still hurting a lot and throbbing, but I wanted to make sure I got a video out, so I'm just going to go over stuff pretty quick just on where I think the market's at so people have an idea as far as longing, shorting. Right now, I don't recommend doing it while we're in this indecision mode because I think the bears and the bulls are at about 50%. There's a lot of signs for both up and down. But if you like this content, you like this information, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Almost to 1,000 subs. I do have a plan to give away and some exciting stuff when we do hit 1,000. So please help me get to there. I do appreciate it. If you're not already, follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian, and links for the Twitch, Discord, and everything are down below. I still am going to try to stream today, but if I don't, it's just because I'm not feeling the best, and I'm probably just going to go lay down. But let's go ahead and get started here on CoinMarketCap. We'll go ahead and refresh this really quick. Currently, Bitcoin dominance is at 60.1%, showing that there will be a little bit of strength for the altcoins. However, we haven't consolidated long enough for me to believe that we're going to start seeing a lot of pumps in the alts just yet, because if Bitcoin, being on the teetering edge, starts to collapse to the downside, we're going to see alts follow with it and bleed probably even more. But right now, we're kind of stagnant. 0%. ETH is having a little bit of a push to the upside. However, I do think we're getting close to a top. Cardano still trying to hold above $1, potentially correcting to the downside as low as about 44 or 45 cents according to the charts. If you guys want me to do a specific video on Cardano, just throw it down in the comments, or any other coins that you would like me to go over in more in depth, since I do stick to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP since I trade those the most. I don't mind going over a lot of the alts. Just got to let me know that that is something you want. And also, if you hop on Twitch, I can go over them live with you at the same time. And then we have XRP, Polkadot up a little bit, and Stellar kind of setting up the same way XRP, looking bullish, but unfortunately, I think we're going to fall off of the cliff with Bitcoin. As far as the biggest gainers, we do have some movers with Ontology, Compound, and then our biggest losers, a couple of the weird swap coins. Engine had a hell of a run, 93% up, only down 8%. Big on NFTs. If you know anything about me in video games, I love the idea that Engine is bringing to this party. So let's go. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the Ethereum charts here. I do have Ethereum up here on the daily, and we can see that we are struggling now to get back above this 20 daily exponential moving average. We've been above it. We've had a crazy run. We've gone up from, let's just go ahead and back down to the last time we were above the daily, up to where we got up here. And of course, we can't see that because it's right at the fucking top, but let's try that again. And we'll come up to here. So we've gone up 540% since October of last year. What a run, right? Is this the end for Ethereum? Are we going to head to the downside? I don't believe so. There's still good news coming out with the new, I think it's the E195 or 99, something that's going to change how mining and staking work with Ethereum. It's going to decrease transaction fees in a sense, and I still need to do a lot more research, but this can be coming out in July, and I'll definitely go over that in one of these next videos to help explain where it's going. But right now, where are we going to see Ethereum go in the upside? It's just going to follow Bitcoin. So if we go ahead and throw up Bitcoin here at the same time, let's go ahead and bring this up on the daily. Move it to here. You know, what do we see? We see that it looks pretty much fucking exactly the same. You know, when we had our run up, now we've dropped down, and now we're consolidating. If we zoom in even more on Ethereum, we'll get rid of Bitcoin here for a second, and we'll move to the 4-hour. You can see our struggle to get above the daily exponential moving average. But if you didn't see my video on Bitcoin today, it will be a link right above me here, and you can click on that, and you can see that we have this head and shoulders pattern that may be forming, where we do need to get back above the daily and back above about $1,660 to see a potential move to the upside. But as of right now, we also have a potential head and shoulders pattern forming, with Ethereum actually pulling ahead a little bit more than, say, Bitcoin and the other coins that have all these similar patterns. So there is a chance that we could see a break to the upside. However, we do also have, I already have it drawn here. It's perfect. If we go ahead and bring out the fib lines, and I have this yellow line here, we're going to change that to something more visible. How about we do that red, and we'll go ahead and put a line right here. So we've had a very, very nice uptrend. But we are in a symmetrical triangle. We are creating higher lows as well as lower highs. But we did enter into this pattern from a downtrend. So there's a higher likelihood that we will go to the downside. But don't forget that we entered into this fall from a very, very bullish run up. So I would still say that even with the higher probability of going to the downside, it's still more 50-50 due to the fact that we are in a bull market that is just starting. If we look here, we can see that the golden pocket has found to be very, very good support. But we are, again, still following the momentum of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is at indecision with, in my opinion, more bearish technicals showing that we're going to go to the downside for at least the next couple of days, possibly starting a bounce at the middle of next week due to the stimulus potentially being signed by President Biden and then being distributed as such from there. But right now, we are not looking the best as far as breaking to the upside. There is a lot of resistance above here for Ethereum. If we look here on the VPVR, we are potentially going into a break that could send us up to around 1800. But the last time we got anywhere near this zone, we've been getting rejected with these large candle wicks. This right here seems to be the most bullish candle of all, but right here at the beginning, we had was this 12 hours of up, down, up, down, up, down for Ethereum. So definitely still would potentially hold back and wait and see here. If we do break this ascending line and potentially make a lower low, that would be a good time to potentially short Ethereum. If Bitcoin does fall, I do expect Ethereum to potentially make it all the way down here to around 1116 as the next target low if it does not hold at around the $1,290, $1,300 range. If we go like way to the bottom, I definitely think that the $1,980 range is going to hold really well for Ethereum, not just because of the weekly exponential moving average, but also the golden pocket along with this retracement here. If we zoom in a little bit on Ethereum, we can see that we are potentially breaking that little triangle that was there, but the fib line on the fib retracement in the short term, where we had lots and lots of resistance right there, is showing to be very cumbersome at the moment, and it looks like we may be losing our momentum and potentially falling back down here. So definitely just keep an eye on Ethereum. This now is not the best time to enter any trades except for maybe a short, because the trend is your friend until it ends. We are still in a short-term bear trend as of the all-time high and consolidating at the moment. If we were to say come up and set a higher high in the short term, from this point, I would still play it safe, because that could just be a relief rally. We get rejected before we hit a new all-time high and we just make a bigger pattern. And that bigger pattern would be something like coming up to, say, here to the point of control, and then we come down, and all we did is just extend our symmetrical triangle. So, again, just keep an eye on it. Now, in my opinion, is always the best time to dollar cost average. Doesn't matter what the price is. If it's below the all-time high in a bull market, if it goes down lower, you buy some more. So you can say buy 20% of your position here. If it goes to here, another 20, here, another 20. And then as it starts to go up, your average is lower and you'll start to make money sooner. But that's going to do it for Ethereum. Quick look on XRP. XRP is right at the edge of a triangle. We've had crazy runs to the upside, formed these beautiful W's, found good rejection. If we did get above this resistance line, it was very short-lived in this one day here. We are potentially flipping the EMA ribbons at this time. On the daily, though, we are getting above we are staying above the weekly and fighting to stay around the daily exponential moving average. Now, last time we saw this similar pattern in XRP was back here, and we got all the way up to 78 cents, and this is before the SEC news. We had a very similar pattern. We did fall to the downside, only just to create a lower low in the temporary before shooting up and then having the bad news with the SEC. The way that this pattern coincides with where we're at now is this bottom line here. So doing the same thing, we watched this pattern, and we were watching right about here. looked like we were performing a perfect triangle to break to the upside, broke up, got rejected, got shit on all the way down to the bottom, and now we have this pattern. And if we zoom in, we can see that it looking pretty good, right? We're here at the bottom, but we are facing fierce rejection. We had a bearish engulfing candle on the daily here. And if we zoom in to, say, the 4-hour, it is looking like, just like in Bitcoin, we had the reverse head and shoulders, the potential big reverse head and shoulders, but on XRP's case, we formed the regular head and shoulders sooner. And we also had a blood diamond form on not only the 4-hour, but also the 3-hour, showing that buying sentiment is losing its touch here. We do have good news for XRP, a potential dismissal of the case due to some problems with the SEC stance on how they delivered XRP in the past to exchanges, and the case doesn't really hold very much water. If you want to see a good video on that, attorney, I think is it Jeremy Hogan, he's with Legal Briefs. I may have the wrong attorney, but just look up the channel Legal Briefs. He does very, very good videos, very, very smart guy, goofy guy, like him a lot. Watch his video, and he goes over how the case is potentially going to move forward from here. And one of the possible outcomes is just a dismissal of the case and XRP not being deemed a security. So that would be wonderful. We could see a shoot up in price very, very quickly if that was the case. But as of the short term, we have little M's forming here. We started to form a W, turned it back into an M. And if we move into the even shorter term here, so 4-hour, we can see that pattern with trend lines and moving averages with the EMA ribbons. Moving in now to the hourly, we are trying to come up, but we are starting to round out on those same moving averages as well as the EMA ribbons. We still have the sell and the blood diamond on the 4 hours, and anytime we've had that, we have had moves to the downside, except for this one time where after it came, XRP was bought up like crazy, but then still followed through with the blood diamond and went to the downside quite a bit. The last time this one formed was up here. So, you know, definitely something to keep an eye on. If we do come to the upside and say get up to around 47 cents, 48 cents and hold, let's say above these candle bodies, I would then be a little more believable, but XRP tends to shoot up and then just come plummeting back down due to huge sell orders and again following Bitcoin's current price action. If we zoom in here just a tad bit more, like let's go ahead and just go back into the hourly and see it on a larger scale. As we constrict here into this symmetrical triangle, we're constantly battling above the EMA, below it, and as of right now, we are kind of topping out under here, whereas before we would actually get good shots above it. And we also have the 20 daily exponential moving average above this, showing that there is a lot of resistance above XRP to actually move to the upside. Good news though is we are currently above the VPVR, so we do have a lot of buying volume down here in the 45 cent, 45, 40 cent range. So, you know, we could see a move to the upside. But the bad news here is if we do see a break to the downside, let's just use the 4-hour and not use a full extension here because I doubt we're going to come down to where is this at? Negative 5 cents, right? The momentum is not going to carry us that low. But if we do break to the upside here, we could be seeing back up to our goals of around 96 cents, at least the 83 to 92, potentially $1.08 price targets that we had before all of the bad news. If we do come to the downside, I think this weekly exponential moving average here will hold slightly, or if we plummet below that, we could form a nice double bottom where this wick is around 36 cents. But realistically, I think we will find support right around the 30, our big support from years and weeks past, up to around 34 cents. I think this would be the best buy region and bounce region for XRP, with the potential of going back as low as around 25 cents. I don't see it going below this point due to all of the traded volume at this area, but the most bearish target is around 25 cents. I do think the 29 up to about 34 would be the second best, and I think if we can hold in this 35 or 37 to 40 cent region, would be even better. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Bitcoin. You know, in about a week when all the stimulus talk comes around, potentially gets a date, gets signed, we could see huge moves like we have in the past. Literally, the day the stimulus was signed into law, it was the next 2 to 3 weeks that we saw major pumpage, and not just Bitcoin, but all the coins in tandem. So that's going to do it here for XRP. Again, I'm going to try to stream here later today, but I'm still a little bit out of it from my surgery yesterday, so I just kind of keep you posted in the Discord. Links for all the stuff is in the comments down below, but I will catch you guys in the next one.